Hey everybody, welcome back to Serving Up Plumbing with David Butler. Today, we're going to be talking about gas bonding, the elusive struggle for plumbers. But before we do that, please make sure and hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. All right, now let's get into bonding. All gas piping has to be bonded, whether it's black iron gas piping, whether it's CSST conventional gas piping, or whether it's arc-resistant gas piping. The question is, how do we bond each one? As you can see in these pictures, we show black iron pipe, we show CSST pipe, and we show arc-resistant CSST pipe. What does CSST stand for? Corrugated stainless steel tubing. Black iron pipe is probably the oldest and most common used pipe that there is. Then back in the 90s, I believe it was, a pipe called CSST came out, corrugated stainless steel tubing. That piping actually came from NASA technology on the space shuttle. We found out after a short amount of time that that piping had a problem when lightning would strike a house. And then they invented arc-resistant CSST. We kind of call it second and third generation CSST, and the yellow pipe is first generation. Arc-resistant CSST is black. But as I said earlier, all gas piping has to be bonded. How is it bonded? To know this, let's go to the code book. As I said earlier, all gas piping has to be bonded. But why? Because the code book says so. The International Residential Code, the Uniform Plumbing Code, the International Fuel Gas Code all say that CSST piping has to be bonded and all gas piping has to be bonded. Some people get confused thinking only CSST gas piping has to be bonded. The difference is how we bond them. Where do we find that out? The code book. So chapter 24 in the International Residential Code tells you how to bond CSST, specifically section G2411, CSST bonding. The very first section of it talks about all piping other than CSST. What piping does that mean? That means black iron pipe, and believe it or not, it also means arc-resistant CSST, because that's a different name than CSST. So under black iron pipe, as you'll see, it says that all black iron pipe, and I'm going to kind of abbreviate this, all black iron pipe is considered bonded by the electrical appliances that it's connected to. Now it says it a little more technical than that, but in a gist, that's what it is. The same thing applies for arc-resistant CSST. The exact same definition for bonding is for arc-resistant as it is for black iron pipe. But the conventional CSST that's not arc-resistant has a different type of bonding. We have to bond it separately and in addition to the bond that it has through the electrical appliance. So we know now that the black iron pipe is bonded by the electrical appliance it's connected to. We know that the arc resistant is bonded by the appliance it's connected to, the very same as the black iron. But how do we bond the conventional CSST? Well, there's 4 places that you can bond conventional CSST. The first and easiest place, as you'll see in the pictures, is at the cold water bond of the water heater. Now, this is usually on older systems that were all copper. If it's a newer house, probably since 2010, and it's all PEX, it's not going to have a cold water bond at the water heater. The copper tubing was what helped with the bond. So, if it's got the cold water bond at the water heater, as you see in the pictures, that's going to be the very ideal place and the easiest place to bond CSST. You can literally connect a bonding wire right next to it on a separate clamp and take it right down to the gas pipe stubbed out of the wall. So we're going to clamp onto black iron or brass to bond this. One thing about it, you never want to clamp onto the pipe itself, the CSST yellow pipe. You always need to clamp onto the black iron or the brass. So if we've got the cold water bond at the water heater, the number 1 spot, it's very simple. It's about a 5 to 6 foot piece of wire. And the wire does have to be minimum number 6 copper grounding wire. Now it can be jacketed or it can be bare copper ground wire, either way. We happen to be an electrical company at Milestone, so we have that availability. We keep this copper grounding wire on the truck. Every single CSST system that's conventional CSST must be bonded. That's the number 1 place, the water heater cold water bond. Now, let's say it doesn't have the water heater cold water bond right there. And it may not be at the water heater. You could have a cold water bond somewhere else in the system, especially if the water heater's on one side of the house and the panel's on the other. They may have tied onto a cold water pipe under a lavatory or under a sink somewhere. And you can actually tie onto that line also, but you have to do it at the same position as the bond. You cannot just tie onto any copper line in the system. Remember, number one, the cold water bond at the water heater. Number two, we can also tie onto a bonding terminal on the outside of the house. Now, a lot of the newer homes that are all PEX will have these bonding terminals. Now, you can see some of these in the pictures also. This bonding terminal is usually close to the panel on the outside of the house and mounted on the wall. It usually has a plastic cover on it, and it'll be covering the wires that are going into it. You can tie in your number 6 ground wire to that. If you're lucky enough that your gas line comes in close to your electric meter, you can just run the number 6 wire right down the wall, hook it onto the gas pipe coming in the building, and you're bonded. So the bonding terminal is number 2. Number 3, if we don't have any place to bond it, and we can't find any place to bond it, we don't have a cold water bond, we don't have a bonding terminal, you can bring the wire right back to the panel. And as plumbers, we don't go into electric panels, and please don't ever do that. You bring the wire down beside the panel, leave some extra long wire beside the panel, and call your local electrician. The electrician can come out and put a bond on the panel. He'll hook up your wire, and you'll have a bonding wire. That wire needs to go from the panel to your closest black iron pipe or brass fitting that's connected to your CSST system. And remember too, this is just a little side note, CSST system doesn't mean the entire system has to be CSST or the conventional yellow. If you've got a piece 6 inches long or you've got the entire house in CSST, you still need to bond that system. Now, number 4, a lightning rod system. Not very many homes have this. Some of your larger homes have it especially. If you have a lightning rod system, they usually have a really large wire. It looks almost like copper rope that you'll see. This wire can be clamped onto and given a bond for your gas system. Again, a wire from the copper looking rope to a black iron or a brass connection. You have to use the grounding clamps, the bonding clamps, and that's it. It can be 2 foot long or the maximum of 75 feet long. You cannot run a bonding wire longer than 75 feet to your bond terminal. That's the 4 places. The water heater, cold water bond, the bonding terminal on the exterior of the wall, an electrician installed bonding terminal on the panel, or a lightning rod system. So I've told you how to bond it, but why in the world do we need to bond CSST? Well, when CSST first came out, everyone thought this was great. Less labor. The materials are a little more expensive, but the labor is much less. You don't have to cut and thread pipe. It's not messy. All kinds of great opportunities for it. But what we didn't realize, that lightning can cause an issue with it. And we learned that actually in Frisco, Texas. Lightning started striking homes. It just so happens in Frisco, Texas, they started installing a lot of it early on when this pipe first came out. Suddenly, because of North Texas's weather, we have a lot of lightning strikes. Cloud to ground lightning strikes, or cloud to house in this case. The lightning would strike the house, and the energy from a lightning strike would actually energize the gas piping of the CSST. And because how thin CSST is, if the lightning strike was strong enough, it could blow a hole in the CSST. Well, the bad thing was immediately when it blew a hole in it, it generally ignited the gas also. So you basically had a torch in your attic, which caught a lot of homes on fire. It took them a while to figure this out, but when it did finally get figured out, what they came up with was we need to bond the CSST gas systems. And to my knowledge, there hasn't been a single lightning strike on a bonded CSST system that caused a fire or a perforation in the CSST. So that's why we need to bond it. What is a bond? Why are we saying bond? Why is it not called a ground? Well, a bond is different from a ground. A bond helps disperse the energy. It helps dilute the force of the lightning strike, which then helps protect the CSST from blowing a hole in it. Black iron pipe is strong enough that the lightning will not blow a hole in it. Arc-resistant CSST has its own type of protection with a grounding layer and an arc-resistant layer throughout the skin of the pipe that helps it be protected against lightning strikes. But the conventional CSST didn't have this. So when the energy of the lightning strike hit the house, it was strong enough to blow a hole through it and then ignite it, causing fires. That's why we have to bond CSST. And those are the 4 ways that we need to do it. So always remember, who requires this? The plumbing code, the fuel gas code. Where do you find how to do it? In the plumbing code, the fuel gas code. There's 4 places you can do it, and every gas system has to be bonded. Black iron systems and arc resistant are already bonded by the electrical appliances they're connected to. But conventional CSST has to have an additional bond. Something new today, serving up plumbing quiz time. I said earlier in the video what CSST stood for. Comment below what CSST stands for, along with any questions you have about today's video. Man, that's a lot to know about CSST bonding, isn't it? I know it's a big struggle for a lot of plumbers because some of us think electricians are supposed to do it. It is not in the National Electric Code. They say it may become part of the National Electric Code shortly, but right now it's not. The only place they talk about CSST bonding is in the plumbing code. Therefore, we go to our code book, we learn it. I really hope this has been helpful because CSST bonding is a very critical and important thing that we need to make sure and do to our gas lines. Please make sure and hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. And I look forward to seeing you next time on Serving Up Plumbing with David Butler. Remember, just tell your friends the Butler did it.